Hi, in this video we're going to go through a series of easy to remember, simple and effective sparring sequences. We're going to go through 5 of them in total. Now, one thing I need to look at to start with and reiterate and bring back to your attention is a couple of different aspects when we're sparring. And that is firstly, crossing the gap. We need to make sure we're looking to cross that gap because within sparring that's the hardest thing. When we're sparring, if this is my opponent, we're at this position here, which means that even with my longest technique, I'm not going to be able to reach my opponent, which means I have to find some way of crossing that gap to get to that opponent. Okay? Within that, we can either blitz, or we can actually slip the foot, or we can double pump and do multiple techniques to get in and over across that gap. We also need to look at shifting out as well, because once we're in on our opponent, then again we need to get out from that opponent. So we need to look at this slipping back as well, and slipping out. We should always keep our guard up. We should be mindful of the fact that just because we're doing an attack, they are also trying to attack us as well. So we need to be aware at all times, have situational awareness, and make sure that we are guarding. So let's look at the shift in to start with. So as we talked about before from our fighting stance and with our guard. So our guard, front hand is at solar plexus height, extended away from the body so that any technique they're throwing to my midsection, I can then meet that as it comes in. The other hand is going to be up tucked in nice and close to my chest with the hand up towards my ear in this position here so it guards my head. We can always swap from this position here if we need to, and then if we need to turn around, I just swap into the opposite position here. When I slip in, when I shift across, now what I need to make sure I do is not jumping, not stepping, but I slip my foot. So I slip it to the midpoint and then I slide across. To do this, it is the effect of me bringing my front foot or my rear foot through and rotating, but at the same time the trajectory of this and the front leg as it pushes out, and so it shifts my body forward as well. So the speed of that leg coming up and out, and also the delivery of it straight through, punching through, matters very much. Coming out. Once I'm into this position here, and I might be fighting close in, I need to then shift out. Now what I need to do is transfer my weight onto my front leg. So a lot of people, they'll keep the weight on the back leg, but shifting out of the back leg is very, very difficult. So off the front leg, we push hard. So from this position, I keep my hands out so I can then control any sort of offensive moves coming into me. We're generally going to shift out a couple of times, so not just the one time, unless we want to shift out and then go straight back in again. So you need to learn this shifting process. So just from this position here, we need to shift back. So the rear leg is just scooting along the floor. It doesn't lift up. I still want to have contact with the floor because I might want to go forward again. So if I demonstrate that, as I go back, I can push straight back off my rear leg again and straight back into my opponent. So we need to give ourselves options all the time. Okay, now we've cleared that up, now let's go into our 5 different systems of attack. So the first one is dead simple. It's just a side kick followed by 3 punches. Now the reason I use 3 punches is because a lot of people, they just deliver 1 punch or they deliver 2 punches. The 3rd punch, they're not ready for, okay? And whilst we're in there, why don't we actually sort of maximise the potential whilst we're in there? So we're going to have this single side kick followed by the punches. I'll demonstrate now. So from our fighting stance. From here, we push, okay? Let me demonstrate again, slowly. So I'm slipping in. I rotate my body, my knee down. 1, 2, 3. Then I'm pushing back out again. Okay? Notice how I straighten up to this position. So now I'm using all of my power with my punches, and also as well as that, I'm bringing my hands back to my ear, keep my elbows in. Now what we don't want to do as we deliver the punch is from here, keeping this position, because look at this. I can't reach with my second punch. I have to rotate, as we looked at within the basic sort of sparring techniques that we did in the last video. So we have to commit to that rotation. But then we revert back to sideways on as we push out. So again, nice and slowly on this technique. So we're slipping in, midsection side kick, rotate, same arm, same leg, followed by the reverse, back in again, and then push. Now fast speed again. We now go on to number 2. Now number 2 is very, very similar to number 1. What it does, it gives us the double pump. So all I do is I show you the double pump with the 1, 2, 3. The explanation of the number 1 should suffice in allowing you to do this, this technique. So as you see, the first one is missing. The first one gets me across the gap. The second one is potentially a score. Then the hands hopefully will be an even greater effect of scoring. So one more time, first one is going to miss. It's going to go out to 3/4, as we looked at in the basic training video we did before. So the first one goes out 3/4, then we extend on the second one, and then we go into our punches. Number 3. Number 3, similar to number 1, but different, because now what we're going to do is we're going to go from an L stance. As we talked about in the basic sparring video, we can go from either fighting stance or we can go from a L stance. Fighting stance is more preferable because L stance opens me up. But if I decide to change to this because I want to do this next technique, it's my choice to do it. Okay? So from this position here, we're going to go for a turning kick to the middle section. Because what I'm trying to do is bring the hands down to that middle section from his hands being up here. So from this position, I'm lifting my knee up, as we've talked about before, rotating hard on my rear foot into the midsection. 1, 2, 3, then I'm pushing out again. Keep my hands out so that again I can counter any offensive attack that he comes back to me with. So fast motion here. Again, we need to try to slip in with it. So from here we need to throw it and slip. The speed of the leg off the front leg will get you to slip. So as we come, we're there. And we push hard with the rear leg as well as rotating it. Rotating is important. If we don't rotate the foot, either with a side kick or a turning kick, we don't open up the hips because it locks them off. We can't get the height, we can't get the speed, and we can't get the technique in there. So one more time, slowly, from here, rotating through. 1, 2, 3, then back out again. Fast speed. On to number 4. We go back to our double pump. What happens on this though, we are going to do legs, hands, legs. We should really be looking at coming out with the legs. It is more defensive if we can, because it gives that big weighted leg to actually give us that sort of protection as we come out. So this is one of my preferred techniques. We're going to do a double pump followed by 2 punches followed by a turning kick off the back leg. Now I talk about not doing turning kicks off the back leg in sparring, but that's only as the first technique. We wouldn't be sparring here and they come off here off the back leg because I'm open. Whereas we showed in number 3 off the front leg, I'm not, I'm still sideways on. So with this, with the 2 punches, the reason why we do 2 punches and not 3 punches is because of the sequence. So if I show you from here, so I side kick, 1, 2, from here, it then leads for me to come straight onto my turning kick. So I come away from the back a little bit to show you. So from here, 1, 2, it then leads into my turning kick. If I do 3 techniques, 3 punches, it doesn't work. So from this position, 1, 2, 3, and now I'm coming forward with my hand. So it's more efficient and more natural to just do the 2 punches on it. The 2 side kicks, we're not going to hit with the side kicks. The turning kick and the punches are what we're looking to hit with. The 2 side kicks are to get me across the gap and score potentially. Okay? So let's go through this so we're all the way back here. So 1, 2, 1, 2, then in with the turning kick. Again. Our last one, number 5. Last one is simple. Last one is a blitz. That's it. So we've got all the rest, have kicking hands in it. This last one, all we're going to do is use hands. Again, it's not used that often within sparring these days. Everyone wants to kick, okay? And then come off of that. Throwing it in every now and again, just as a surprise, because you've been doing your kicking, you've been lulling them into false insecurity, you've been getting to think they understand the way you fight. And you're always fighting this way, here. So you're always off the front leg. Then all of a sudden, boom, out you go, blitz. You change it up, and then you're out. As we looked at in the basic training video for sparring, we're looking at coming from a position here, whether it's going to be fighting stance or L stance. What happens is we commit, we throw. We throw from here, the hand is coming from my solar plexus area. What happens is I cross in front, then I step forwards, and then it's a back fist into the face area. So again, it's commitment. We can cover a lot of distance, a lot of the gap, and getting in. What we're generally looking to do is to hit and go through or go to the side. We're not looking to hit and stay here because, again, it puts us at a disadvantage at this point potentially. Whereas if we hit and we're at the side, we can now start coming in on the sideways position where he is imbalanced. Okay? So one more time. So practice coming round to the side with it. Don't just stay in front. Okay, there we have our 5 sequences. I hope you enjoyed them and learned them. Thank you.